Welcome to my workshop. In today's video we're going to be checking out a portable laser engraving unit that is small, compact in size, easy to move around, and best of all, it's actually very budget friendly. The machine I'm talking about is made by a company called Genmitsu. It's the kiosk version, and my particular model does have a 10-watt module inside of it. Now this is the most affordable laser engraving machine of this size I had in my workshop. The 10-watt version will set you off by only $300. However, you do have two more options. The cheapest price you can get this machine is just under $200, and that will come with 2.5-watt module. And you also get a middle tier with 5 watts of power, and that will cost you just under $250. As you can see, the price tag for this machine is actually very good. However, it means nothing if the machine itself doesn't perform and doesn't deliver. So let's have a look what we've got in the box, and we'll run it through some tests to see what it can actually do and if it's worth that money. In the box itself you do get two test pieces of basswood, your instructions and the machine itself. And there you have it, nice and sleek machine. And you just lift the front to get access to your laser muzzle. Obviously we do have some additional items inside. So that's the 10-watt laser module, and as you can see straight away, on the front of this laser module we do have the retractable foot to establish the focal point, so nice, simple and easy. You do get some glasses as well. That's the USB cable to connect it to your laptop or PC. Additionally, you've got some bits and pieces for cleanup and marking purposes, and a power brick. So let's have a closer look at the machine itself. The base over here, you can quite easily remove the plate, and that will give you an access to larger items. So if you want to engrave, for example, I don't know, a table or anything like that, you can just place the machine on top of the item you want to engrave, and that's how you can tackle really large projects. So for example, if you want to add a logo to a table or a piece of furniture you're making, absolutely fantastic feature there. At the back we've got a few ports, and just below over here we've got the fume extraction port or your purification unit. You know, if you do have a purification unit you can attach it to that, or just any other mean of extracting fumes. On top of it, this machine does have a quite unique feature. What you can do is undo these screws, and what you can do is to lift the machine up just like so, and again we can install it in a lock position, and that now gives us far more space for a thicker material that we can engrave. Okay, simple thing like that. And at the same time, it makes our life much easier when installing this laser module, which, to be fair, is absolutely that simple. We do have one slot for that backing, just slide it in, and there is a small locking lever that you need to do up, and now the laser head is nice and stable, and what's left to do is just to connect the cable. And that's it, simple as that. And there you go, your machine is now ready to use. It's probably not even 5 minutes to get up and running with this. Now as you can see, I've got my inline fume extraction at the back, just put against the outlet that's located on the machine to remove any fumes that we'll be making in today's tests. Now as I mentioned before, you can actually attach a fume purification unit to this. It's an additional accessory you can purchase. So one way or another, you just need to figure out how to remove the fumes from the area you're going to be working with this machine. Have a well ventilated room, and preferably some sort of an extractor. This machine can be operated with the most known softwares like Laser GRBL or LightBurn. And LightBurn is exactly the software I'm going to be using to operate this machine. So let's jump into my laptop for a second, and I'll show you how you can easily and quickly set this machine up. Alright then, so we are in LightBurn, as you can see, and the first thing we need to do is actually set up our device. Make sure the laser is switched on and connected to your PC or laptop. When you do that, click on devices. It's in the right bottom corner just over here. And you do have few options here. You can create the profile manually or actually use the software Find My Laser. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Let's see if it will recognize the machine. Press next. And as you can see, the LightBurn is looking for our machine. Yes, and it found it. Okay, port number 4 and exactly the work area it can do. So 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. So we're going to add the device, and now we can change the name of it. Right, just like so. Make sure to check if the x-axis and y-axis are correct, and they are. And now over here you can create the original starting point. For me it will be the front left, and I'm just making sure the outer home laser on startup is enabled. Press next, and that's it. Job done. Our profile is created. Now over here again at the right corner at the bottom we need to select our new machine. So from the list, find our laser, which is the kiosk one, and as you can see it actually changed the layout of our software. So that's the working area we now have. Right then, let's start some tests. First of all, engraving. So we know what type of settings we can actually use with this machine to engrave our materials. However, before we're actually going to start doing anything, we need to establish the focal point of our machine. And to do that, very easily, you just get that little foot down. And as you remember, there's that locking screw inside. Just loosen it up and drop our module down until that foot touches our material. Then lock it in place, retract that little foot, and we are sorted. Simple as that. Now this machine with the software will also allow you to frame your projects, i.e. to show you which area will be engraved or cut. To make sure that's set up correctly, go onto the settings, device settings, just over here, click on that, and make sure the laser fireburn is enabled, plus the laser on framing is enabled as well. Okay, then press OK just over here. Now go on to the move tab over here and make sure the power is set up to about, let's say, 3%. And thanks to that we'll be able to see where the laser will be working. And now I'm going to frame it to make sure that the piece of plywood is in the correct location. And as you can see, it's absolutely perfect. Right, with everything ready, I'm going to start the machine. Couple of stats and figures when it comes to this machine. The actual engraving, the work area for this particular machine is 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters, and the max engraving height is 50 millimeters. When it comes to the speed, the maximum engraving speed when it comes to bitmaps is 12,000 millimeters per minute. All right, let's have a look at the results. Let's see what we managed to get and what we're gonna work with. So as you remember, the 12,000 millimeters per minute, that's the maximum this machine can go. And I think the main text, I've used way too much power for that. At 2,000 millimeters per minute, 40% power, that's more or less all right. However, when you get to 100, as you can see, that's way too much. Not a bad result. I would say probably about 8,000 millimeters per minute and 60% power, or even the 12,000 at 60. That could be really good setups over here. So overall, not a bad performance at all. Now the next test, I want to do a cutting test. Now this machine is not really designed for cutting, okay? This is for engraving. However, let's check out what are the capabilities when you want to cut, let's say, 3mm plywood sheet. Now for cutting, I do recommend you use some sort of a honeycomb base or a raised bed or anything like that to allow the fumes to be removed from the machine a lot easier. Now I've got this little contraption here that will help me to remove the fumes. And this machine also offers Wi-Fi connectivity and an app access, so you can use it without the need of a PC or laptop connected to it. Okay, so let's have a look at the results, what we can expect from this machine. And that's it, guys. So that's what we've got. The maximum 200 millimeters per minute, 80% power. We managed to cut that through with no hassle at all. However, when we go on to the 300 millimeters per minute, it's not doing it. Any marks? As you can see, there's actually no marks at all on it. So that's the performance you can expect from this laser module. As this machine is primarily used for engraving, let's engrave a photo on this piece of plywood. Right, as you can see, I've imported my photo on it, and the settings will be 6000 millimeters per minute, maximum power of 100, and the constant power mode is off. Okay, the DPI somewhere around 300. Okay, I've got 323. The image mode is Jarvis, right? And I've tweaked the photo just a little bit with the contrast, brightness, gamma, the radius and enchant amount. Okay, and let's see what type of results we're gonna get. Now let's see what type of results did we manage to get. Well, I have to say, I think I've added too much power. It's actually super deep. The hairline just over here and over here with the beard is probably about a layer or 2 layers in. way too much power. But overall, the quality, look at that, absolutely fantastic. The shirt, the detail on the shirt and the eyes and the glasses, absolutely fantastic. The size of this machine is absolutely perfect to create some amazing coasters from wood or from slate. Let's have a look how engravement will go on this slate coaster. And look at that, absolutely fantastic results, no issues at all. Even at that speed, you know, really nice and detailed engravement in a piece of slate. Well, this machine would be also perfect for some business cards. This one is actually from aluminium that's coated in this nice blue color, and let's see how engraving anything on that will go. And the settings will be exactly the same as we did with the slate. Right, and that little job only took just over 3 minutes, and let's have a look. There you go, fantastic engravement. Look at that. As we are testing different materials, I've got a piece of leather. Let's try to engrave something in that. And look at that, beautiful engravement on the piece of leather. Fantastic. Again, another material, no issues at all. Alright, now let's say I've got this piece of timber I want to engrave, and this is fairly thick, and as it is now, it would be impossible to engrave it. However, as you remember, hopefully, I'm just going to switch it off for a minute. We can raise the whole machine up so we can actually engrave thicker materials. Few seconds and it's done. Now what we're gonna do, I can place it over, set up the focal point, and I can engrave something cool on this. And there we go, no issues at all. And yeah, go ahead and subscribe as well. So far, as you've seen, the machine performs really well. It does exactly what we ask it to do, and it does it really well to high quality. However, I want to do a project, and as we are approaching Halloween, let's make it a Halloween themed project. Now I've got a 3mm plywood sheet already in the machine, ready to cut out and engrave a really cool design. On top of it, I'm actually going to be cutting felt with the laser machine. It's about 1mm in thickness. It's quite stiff, as you can see, and that's going to be the background for our design. So I've got orange and red. So let's get to it. That is so cool. I've got one more design to cut out, and then we'll head over to felt. Fantastic job. As you can see, it engraves absolutely brilliantly, and it cuts out 3mm plywood with no issues at all. Right, time for the felt. Right then, let's load up the felt and we can start. However, with this type of material, as it is very light, make sure to actually use a bit of tape so it will remain in place. And that's it. It only took a few seconds to do, and the felt is cut. Check that out. Absolutely brilliant. And look at that. How cool and awesome is that? Right, I'm gonna do the other one with the orange felt. Now, the best method to actually combine the felt and the plywood, what I found, is just a bit of CA. That will do the job absolutely fine. Just don't put too much. It's just the quickest and easiest way of doing this. Few seconds, leave it like that, and it will be done. And check these out. I think they came out absolutely brilliantly. But what do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. And there you have it, guys. As you can see, it's super powerful, versatile little machine in a small package and at a very decent price tag. How about the overall general quality of the machine? Now, it is a budget machine, so the whole body, it's all made out of plastic. However, everything seems to be, you know, well made. Everything fits together absolutely fine. From the safety features as well, you've got this massive front panel that will protect your eyes from the harmful laser light. On top of it, if you tilt it left or right or accidentally knock it, the laser will stop as well. So that's really cool when it comes to the safety features. On top of it, because it's all closed off, the fumes, if you do have a fume extractor, like I do, for example, the inline one, or maybe a fume purification unit, you can't smell anything. When burning or engraving, nothing at all, okay? If you get a decent setup, this will be absolutely fantastic and you won't have the fumes in your work area. The machine itself, it's super light and you can take it with you on, for example, craft shows or anything like that, and engrave, personalize the pieces that you want to sell to your potential customers. From that perspective, this is really cool. Super easy to set up and work with. Overall, it's a really decent unit that I can definitely recommend it to you. However, as you know, there are 3 power versions. And to be fair, I would probably only recommend the 10 watts. 10 watts is the sweet spot, enough power to tackle most of projects, and at the same time, you're actually going to be able to cut something out. For me, the 2.5 watts, that's definitely way too low. 5 watts could be okay for some engraving. However, with 10 watts, you can engrave a lot faster and you can cut things as well. Plus the accuracy and quality of engraving with the 10-watt module is absolutely fantastic. There's no issues with that. Now, one thing I want to point out is that the machine will not operate if this is up, okay? As you lower it down, it actually makes a click sound, as there is probably some sort of a switch behind it that it will not allow the machine to start engraving or cutting if this is up. So from safety perspective, again, really good. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, I'm going to leave some links down below in the description of this video and in the pinned comment, so you can go have a look and check it out for yourself. And that's it, guys. Massive thank you to my Patreons that are supporting my channel, and a massive thank you to you as well for watching my video. Now, before you go, I do have some really cool playlists over here. Click on those and maybe you'll find your next video to watch. But for now, that's all. Thank you very much. Take care.